Hey, what's up everybody? BDF 44 coming at you with another video. Alright, so it looks like these boycotts are real, man, as far as like Starbucks and stuff like that. When you walk by Starbucks at this hour, that right there is usually packed. It's usually packed, man. It's like a little afternoon, maybe about 12:30 or something like that. I know this is a country where a lot of people may not know what's going on. A lot of times we've been rocked to sleep by the culture we have to not really pay attention to what's going on in the Middle East. We kind of just listen to it with a left ear. Maybe we might be interested. If it's not in our face, we won't care. You know, that's just how we handle certain things that are going on outside the world of our world. But I think those who are paying enough attention to it are really starting to spread the word. And I think people are really up in arms about this particular genocide, man. It's too many kids that we've seen lose their lives in some very inhumane ways. And it just gets to a point where I don't think people are cool with this. This pertains to continuing about business as usual. I don't think so, man. I just think people are starting to really get it as it pertains to this particular atrocity. I think they're starting to really understand that this ain't nothing to play with. That the people who have done this need to feel it in their pockets if they're not going to feel it from those who are supposed to be holding them accountable for not doing this. It's an exhaustion that's worn over my spirit, to be honest with you. I've been paying attention to this for 4 weeks now, and every bit of the situation is terrible. Every angle of it you look at, every way it's being handled, the way people have felt outraged and spoken to their, POTUS online, and he don't acknowledge their cries for ceasefire, the way they've gone out of their way by way of Meta and its platforms to silence people. And you go on various media platforms and they're giving you the information a certain way. Basically until now, where they finally start to admit that things have happened because they can't avoid it. At this point, too many people have seen and heard, and they've lost credibility, just like I told you they would 2 weeks ago. Western media, it's a different energy surrounding these media sites and these media platforms. People aren't holding a whole lot of what they say with a whole lot of weight, as I told you it would, and me personally, I'm just at a point where I'm like, man, I don't care for things starting to manifest right now as it pertains to people talking and people. I don't care for that, because I know that a lot of that was deliberate in terms of timing. They were waiting for the right time or the right amount of people to have already gone through enough to start caring. In the meantime, as they're starting to wake up, there's still worse things even happening as they turn the heat up, as if they know the clock is running out. It's like you got 30 seconds before the world go crazy over it. So they start putting on even more momentum on their terror, putting more emphasis on what it is they're doing. Instead of bombing from the sky, now they're sending foot soldiers in with tanks to shoot at hospitals and just a bunch of stuff that's like, clearly this is being timed out, released to us in a certain way. For those of us who are still asleep, by the time they wake up, everybody's gonna be gone already. The damage would have already been done, the money would have already been made, and I'm not moved by that. As the type of brain I have, I already saw that coming. I knew they were gonna do the slow burn as it pertains to waking America up. But at the end of the day, this has been going on for 4 weeks. We know it. Everybody who's paying attention to it knows exactly how the numbers have increased. 1,000 kids a week, basically. Probably 2,000 or 3,000 people a day. And it just gets to a point where it's like, all right, man, we got it. You don't have the balls. Those of you who are supposed to be holding these guys accountable don't have the balls to put aside whatever your own interest is in regards to the situation and do something about it. Maybe they're your bosses, so you don't feel like you can make a change in regards to what it is that you do. But kids have died, and that's on you. Not on the madmen who are in position to do it, but the people who didn't stop them, who are in a position to do that. Are you afraid they're going to cut your funding? Expose us for being corrupted in these areas by making them do that. If holding them accountable means cutting your funding, then damn it, cut your funding. That's what saves the kids. Shut everything down. Let chaos ensue. Whatever it's going to take to get them out of the positions they're in, to hold you silent, it was your responsibility. And you would have saved lives if you would have did it 1 week into this process. But you didn't. And now they're stronger than ever because you allowed it to be the case. Now they feel like they can get away with this, probably spreading this nonsense out into other places because you allowed it to be the case. And at this point, we got to understand that. Are we going to sit here and just let them continue this process so they can turn their attention to us after they're done? Seems so. Seems like a lot of these people have been promised that they ain't going to be the ones targeted when they turn their attention to everybody else that they're going to be trying to turn their attention to. And damn it, those are liars. If you think for 1 second they give a damn about you, you don't have a whole lot of spiritual understanding. Because the enemy hates those who works for him. That's the number one thing the devil does. And if you don't think these people are driven by Satan at this point, then I don't know what to tell you, because it's so obvious. It's so obvious that the only God they serve is the devil. So you got to understand what moves the devil in order to stop an energy like this. And so for me, it's like you got to call their bluff. You got to force their hand. You got to force them to do things they don't want to do. Otherwise, they do exactly what they want to do and get even stronger. And so I'm just looking at the people who are in position to do something, a bunch of cowards, and they disgrace their day. They disgrace their names, and they're likely going to have to deal with the wrath of a God that probably ain't going to wait till they're dead to give them that wrath. A lot of us think that they're going to have to deal with the Lord at the end. No, they got to deal with the Lord in about a year. Didn't y'all see what just happened? He hit us with COVID. Or they hit us with COVID. Who knows if that was actually planted there by the same people who are killing these kids. I don't know. They control everything, right? Why wouldn't I think it's possible? But the point is, we don't know that something like that won't hit our doorsteps again because of something like this that we allowed to happen on our watch, in our lifetime. Many of people could have did something about that. Many of people could have stepped up and used their voice where y'all decided to be quiet. And I'm telling you, the suffering that was allowed because of you is something that, even if you face karma, likely won't be repaid to you in the way that those people faced it. Likely won't be coming to you in the way that they got it. Because the way they got it was something that most people would never even think to do. But now that the example's out there, I'm concerned about that too. Genocide, man. And watching everybody sit back and be quiet has been disgusting while we sit here and watch it in our phones. Not to mention that they're not only killing these people. You can kill people, but you can also torture them too. And that's what they're doing. They're torturing them mentally, emotionally, physically. Slow burning them and stuff like that, that type of thing. Making them feel like they gotta be scared. It ain't enough to think you're gonna die. They gotta make you feel like you're terrified all the way out. Like, that's evil. That's not necessary. When you consider if the main objective is to just annihilate people, then just annihilate them. I mean, I hate to be so damn cold, but like, it speaks to an understanding that ain't the only goal. They ain't just here to wipe everybody out. Nah, they here to terrorize and leave an example for all of us to be terrorized by it too, so that we're fearful of them. And we are not. Not if we have any sense of knowing what actually defends us. Fear ain't gonna save you from that. Fear ain't gonna protect your children at all. If you're fearful, you gotta understand that there's something greater than them behind you. And that's what I've been trying to express to all of you. There's something greater than them behind me. They can pretend they God. They can enact all this different evil stuff that makes them feel as if they're effective in telling all of us that they're God. And at the end of the day, I talked to God this morning. And they didn't answer. He did. You understand what I'm saying? They don't know God. If they knew God, then they would know they couldn't play God. You can't play God and you can't play God. It has two meanings. You are not going to be able to act as if you're him, and you're not going to be able to get anything over on him. Not a chance. God is in me when I tell you that they ain't fooling him with their cowardice, attacking the weak of us. They not fooling nobody. They showing us that they're some of the weakest human beings to ever walk the earth by attacking children at night and terrorizing them. And then hiding behind religion, and then from there doing a bunch of stuff that doesn't even add up or make any sense with their bad actors and unhinged representatives. I'm telling you, the only people that still want what they do are people who would want this done in other areas if it weren't them doing it. That's what I'm here to tell you. People who support this are mad. They're mad. There's no other way around it. Only a madman would want this stuff done. Only somebody who's absolutely out of their minds would co-sign what they're doing. And so I'm not surprised to see people support this. They got people who support all types of evil stuff. That's why there's a lot of evil stuff being done in the world. You look at those people and then you look at those things and you put them together, you probably find out it's them doing it. It's that simple. BDF 44. I thank you all for watching.